Here's a question from Facebook. How do we tie the Hebrew word in the Old Testament translated as know to the New Testament Greek word translated as know? Well, that's a good question. And the way it ties together is through the judgment. That is when we read Matthew 24:36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man. And we look at the language and we ask the question, what is meant by the day and hour? And the answer is, it is God's judgment. And everybody knows that, even people in the world, because we were talking about Judgment Day, May 21, 2011, or Judgment Day, the spiritual judgment, concluding on October 7th, 2015. And what's the response? No man knows the day or hour. That is, you cannot know the judgment of God. You cannot know the timing for the final judgment of God. And that's the equivalent idea or doctrine that we find in those Old Testament verses. God brings a judgment, then says, the Egyptians shall know I am Jehovah. And that verse in Psalm 9, verse 16, Jehovah is known by the judgment that he executeth. And there we have the connection between judgment and being known. And God is speaking of knowing the day or hour, knowing the judgment. And that is how we tie the two together.